our final term output entitled
Computation of Grades in Intermediate Learning Areas.
I am John James Polosoga.
And I am Sarah May Notarty.
And I am Shelami Bagutsay, and we are the
Group 3.
Good day, sir. So I'm going to discuss our learning task 1, but before that, I'm going to read our intended learning outcomes. It is to compute grades of students in various secondary grade levels, observing the guidelines under the face-to-face task setting and utilizing verbal and non-verbal communications and technology. So the instruction is the following final grades are obtained in a class of grade 8 students. So this set here is considered as, it has two groups. So this will be, assuming this will be the section A and section B. And the questions are, using a norm reference grading with a 7-point scale, determine the scores that would get a failing mark. And what is your general comment on this? Then, using a norm reference grading with an 8-point scale, determine the scores that would get a failing mark and how is it compared to the previous grading system used. So, the following are the steps on how to get the or to determine the scores that would get a failing mark using the norm reference grading with a 7-point scale and 8-point scale. So now we're going to move on to the 8-point scales to these two sets. But we're going to discuss first the set A. Since we already know that set A have the 17 range of division, so we're going to divide that with 8 since we're going to use the 8-point scales. So 17 divided by 8 is equal to 2.3. We're going to round it up. It will be 2. So in order for us to get the range divisions, we're going to add the lowest grade, which is 75, to this dividend, the 2. So we're going to add 75 plus 2 is equal to 77. And then 77 plus 2 is equal to 79. 79 plus 2 is equal to 81. 81 plus 2 is equal to 83. 83 is equal to plus 2 is equal to 85. 85 plus 2 is equal to 87. And then 87 plus 2 is equal to 89. And 90 plus 2 is equal to 82. Range division here will be 75 to 77. And we will, since we have this set, for set A, we're going to identify the failing grade range. I mean, sorry, that one here, that's 17 divided by 8 is equal to 2.3 or 2. And then the failing grade range will be 75 to 77. The possible students that have failing grades are 3 students. They have 75, and they are 75, 75, and 77. So see here, the students failing, the scores that would go failing mark are 75, 75, 77. So therefore, there are 3 students failing in set B if we're going to use the 8-point scales. And now we're moving on to set B. Since we already know as well earlier that we have that the range for the set B is 16. And for the application of 8-point scale, we're going to divide it by 8. It will be resulted to 2. So the failing grade range will be the same. It will be 75 to 77. So since it is 2, we're going to add it from the lowest grade. 75 plus 2 is equal to 77. 77 plus 2 is 79. 79 to 81. 81 to 83. 83 to 85. 85 to 87. And 87 to 89. And then the highest is 89 to 91. This 91 is the highest score in set B. So the students that, obviously the students failing are 75, 75 and 77. So set A and set B for the 8-point scales are the same. And the scores with no failing marks that I have said earlier, 75, 75 and 77. There are 2 77s for the set. So therefore, there are 4 students failing for the set B if we're going to apply the 8-point scales.
In the instruction here, arrange the following grade in ascending order. So in set A here, the set A here is arranged. So let us arrange the set A and set B from the lowest to the highest. So set A, 75, 75, 77, 79, 80, 80, 80, 81, 82, 82, 83, 84, 84, 85, 87, 88, 88, 90, 90, 91, 91, 92. So in here, number of students are 22 in the set A. So lowest score that's 75 here, and the highest score that's 92. So range. So highest score 95 minus lowest score 75 equals 17. So here in set B, 75, 75, 77, 77, 78, 78, 80, 81, 81, 81, 84, 85, 85, 85, 86, 86, 86, 88, 89, 89, 90, 91. So in set B, the number of students are 23. Lowest score got 75, highest score got 91. So here, highest score 91 minus lowest score 75 equals 16.
So now let's proceed to the 7-point scales in set A. So since Mr. Zelda already discussed the range earlier, so the range division is 17 divided by 7 is equals 2.43. So we're going to be rounded to 2.4. So in order to get the failing grade range, we're going to add the lowest grade 75 plus 2.4 is equals 77.4. So therefore, the failing grade range is 75 to 77.4. So the students failing is 75, 75, and 77. So there are 3 students. So here is the breakdown of the grades. The highest grade from 90 to 92. Then the second highest grade is at 87.5 to 89.9. Then the third highest grade is 85 to 87.4. Then the middle grade 82.5 to 84.9. Then the third lowest grade is 80 to 82.4. Second lowest grade 77.5 to 79.9. Then the lowest grade, which is the failing, is 75 to 77.4. So since the scores that would give a failing mark to the 7-point scale, 75, then 75, and 77. So therefore 3 students are failing. So in set B, there are 23 students. So the range division is 16. So 16 divided by 7 is equals to 2.29. So we're going to round it to 2.3. So the failing range is 75 to 77.3. So 75 plus 2.3 is equals to 77.3. So therefore, the students failing is 75, 75, 77, and 77. So there are 4 students. So here is the breakdown of the grades. So the highest grade is got 89.4 to 91. Then the second highest grade is 87 to 89.3. Then the third highest grade is 84.6 to 86.9. Then the middle grade is 82.2 to 84.5. Then the third lowest grade is 79.8 to 82.1. Then the second lowest grade is 77.4 to 79.7. Then the last is lowest grade or the failing grade is 75 to 77.3. So the scores that would give a failing mark by 7-point scale is 75, 75, 77, and 77. So therefore, 4 students are failing.
So, what is your general comment on applying the norm reference grading?
My comment regarding with this norm reference grading is that I guess it's unfair towards the students because it fosters competition since it refers or it only based to the performance of from the other who did best from the other or in other groups. So I think this norm reference grading is not good if it is used for grading because we need to teachers should promote fairness towards her or his students.
How is it compared to the previous grading system used?
So, I noticed that set A and set B are pretty similar, but they are slightly different in score. So, changing the scale can change our grades faster, and it makes me wonder which one is the fairer.
So now, let's go to discuss the task 1B. So, here, grade 7 English with the following row scores. So, we have here the reading award, which is 72 out of 90. And the performance task is 86 out of 110. And the score in quarterly test is 67 out of 85. So, we have here the highest possible score in the learner A, which is the grade 7 students. So, we have here indicated the reading award 72 out of 90. So in order to get the percentage score, we're going to divide the 72 divided by 90 is equals to 0.8. So 0.8, in order to get the percentage score, we're going to multiply by 100. So the percentage 0.8 times 100 is equals to 80. So we are going to indicate the percentage score here is 80. So the weighted score, we're going to multiply by 0.30%. So 80 times 0.30 is equals to 24. We're going to indicate here 24, the weighted score. So let's proceed to the performance task, which is 86 out of 110. So we're going to divide 86 to 110. 86 is equals to 0.78. So we're going to multiply by 100 in order to get the percentage score. So the percentage score is 78.18. So let's proceed to the weighted score. So we're going to multiply by 50%. 78 times 0.50% is equals to 39.09. We're going to indicate here the 39 weighted score of performance task. So let's proceed to the score in quarterly test. So here we have here the 67 out of 85. So 67 divided by 85 is equals to 0.78. So we're going to multiply by 100. 78.8. 78.82. 78.82. So, in order to get the weighted score, we're going to multiply by 20%. 78.82 times 0.20%. 78.82 times 0.20 is equals to 15.76. So, in order to get the initial grade, we're going to add all the weighted score sa written work, performance task, and the score in quarterly test. So we have here the 39.09 and 15.76. Is that
Go.
So we're going to add all the weighted score from 24, 39.09, and 15.76. So we have here the total weighted score is 78.85. So we're going to indicate here 78.85. So in order to get the quarterly grade, we're going to transmute the initial grade. So we're going to transmute the initial grade to the quarterly grade. So 78.85, we're going to indicate here the quarterly grade is 86.
We're going to continue the task 20, wherein we're going to compute the grade 10 math with the following scores. Written work is 34 out of 55, performance test is 40 out of 80, score in quarterly test is 38 out of 50. The first thing to do is to divide the learner's score to the highest possible score. So 34 divided by 55 is equal to 618, and we're going to multiply that one by 100, and the result will be 61.8 or 62. And now we're going to multiply that one to 40% in order to get the weighted score. So 62 times 0.40 is equal to 24.8. And then we're going to compute now the performance task. Same with this written works, we're going to divide the learner's score to the highest possible score. So 40 divided by 80 is 0.5, and then times 100. And now we're going to have 15 years. And to get the weighted score, we're going to multiply that one as well by 40%. We have 20 for the weighted score.
To get the quarterly grade, let us divide the 38 score of the learner nation divided by 50. So it is 0.76. 0.76 times 100 to the percentage score equals 76. So let's put 76 here. So 76 times 0.20% equals 15.2. So 15.2. So in order to grade the initial grade, add all the weighted score. In the learner A, let us add all the weighted score to get the initial grade. So 24.8 plus 20 plus 15.2. 24.8 plus 20 plus 15.2 equals 16. 16. So the quarterly grade of the learner A graded student, let us transmute the 60% to 75. 75%. This is the quarterly grade of the learner A graded student in his or her math subject.
So now let's proceed to our task 2. So the grading system used in K-12 is using the front and weighting approach. Assessment scores are immediately converted to a 100-point scale, and then composite marks are averaged and weighted. Kabizin and Gorich in 2010. Below are the percentage score of Miss Marie and Aralim Panipunan for the first grading period. Written works include a concept map, essays, news writing, news article review, and a couple of reaction papers. Purposes tasks were comprised of timelines, news reporting, debate, and role play. So we have here the written work from 1 to 7. So in order to get the total score, we're going to add the written work from written work 7. So we have here 18, 10, 19, 20, 22, 25, and 30. So we are going to add all the written works. So 18 plus 10 plus 19 plus 20 plus 22 plus 25 and 30. So the total score are 144. So we're going to indicate the total score here, which is 144. In order to get the percentage score, we're going to divide 144 divided by 119. 144 divided by 19. So the percentage score is 190 divided by 144 is equals to 0.75. So we're going to multiply it by 100 times 100 is equals 75. So we're going to indicate the percentage score 75. So in order to get the weighted score, we're going to multiply by 30. 75.30% times 0.30%. So 75 times 0.30 is 22.73. So 22.73 88.73. So let's proceed to the performance task. So
So we're done now with the written works. Let's proceed to performance task. We have all the given numbers here, and in order to get the total for this performance task, we're going to add this from performance task 1 till 4. So we have the numbers 16, 24, 24, and 28. Going to add that up, it's 22, it's 92. So we have here the number 92. And we're going to multiply this, we're going to divide 92 divided by, 92 divided by 110. At the percentage score, we're going to divide 92 divided by 10. So it's 92 divided by 110. It's 0.83 and 63. Then we're going to multiply this one by 100. We're going to have 83.63. That's 83.63. And then, in order to get the weighted score, we're going to multiply this 83.63 by 50%. So 83.63 times 50% is equal to 41 and 82.
So let's proceed to the quarterly assessment. So let's get the 30 divided by 50. 30 divided by 50 is 0.6. 0.6 times 100% of the percentage score is 60. So let's put 60 here. So 60. So in order, so let's proceed to the weighted score. So 60 times 0.20 times 0.20 is 12. So 12. So let's get the initial grade of the performance task. So let's add all the weighted score. 41.82 plus 12. 12. 2, 8, 3, 5.
So moving on, we have a question here which is suppose Miss Marie's grades in the same subject for the second, third, and fourth quarter are 87, 88, and 90 respectively. Compute her final rating rounded to the nearest unit and give its descriptive equivalent. So we computed the value of the first grading period for the grade of Marie's in Araling Kanlipunan, which is 25. Then we're going to adopt this another 3 graded quarters, which are 87, 88, and then 90. So 85 plus 88 plus 90 is equal to 350. And then we're going to divide this one by 4. And the result is 87.5. But it states here that we're going to round it to the nearest unit. So the result is 87 I mean, 88 rather. Sorry for that. 88. So therefore, Ms. Marie's final rating is 88, and its descriptive rating is pass. She fortunately passed the Araling Panlipunan subject.
So now let's proceed to the task 2B, which is the final numerical and descriptive ratings of Judy in the other learning. Learning areas or subjects are given below. Using the results you have obtained above, determine her final average. So as you can see here, we have here the missing final grade, which is the Araling Panlipunan. So since we already discussed earlier that the Araling Panlipunan of Miss Maris is 88, so we are going to indicate here the final grade of 88, which is the remark is pass. So since the final grade, all subjects are completed, we are going to total the final grade in order to get the general average. So 89 plus 89, 82 plus 87 plus 88 plus 91, 85, and 74. So we are going to add all the final grades. 89 plus 89 plus 82 plus 87 plus 88 plus 91 plus 85 and 74. So the total of final grade is 685. So 685 divided by 8 subjects is equals to 85.62. We're going to indicate here 85. So 685 divided by 8 is equals to 85.62. So we are going to round off from 85.62 to 86. We're going to indicate here the final grade of 86. So we're going to remark as pass. And that's all.
Here you go.
So now we're moving on to task 3, where we have here a table showing a simple part of a grade 6 student named Rico for the third quarter of the school year 2023 to 2024. So using the discussions we have for the lesson 8 as our guide to fill the empty spaces to get the needed data until we will be able to compute for his quarterly grade at the last column. So we're going to base this one, the components of the written work, performance task, quarterly assessment of grade 1 to 10. Okay? So we're going to base the percentage of each subject here at the right, the left column. The left Manila paper. So moving on. As you can see, the given numbers here. First, for the Filipino in the written works, Rico obtained 85 for the Filipino. So we're going to look for the subject Filipino here. And it belongs to languages. It's in a written work, so it values as 30%. We're going to multiply 85 by 30%. So 85 times 0.30 is equal to 25.5, and then we're going to Going to multiply 30% by 55, or vice versa. 55 times 0.30 is equal to 25.5. And then the performance task of Filipino is 50%. So we're going to multiply 81 by 50%. It's 40.5. For the quality assessment, we have 75. So we're going to multiply it by 20%. 75 times 0.20 is 15. Then we're going to add their weighted scores. We have 25.5 plus 40.5 plus 15. So the total initial grade is 81. And then we're going to transmute that one. We have the initial grade here. And in order to have the quarterly grade, we're going to transmute this one. We're going to use the transmutation table for K to 12. So 81 is equal to 88. Now so next we have the English subject where he has the written word value of 82. And then this is part of the language as well, so we're going to multiply that one by 30%. So 82 times 30% is equal to 24.6. And then for performance test, we have 50%. So 77 times 50% is 38.5, and then the quality assessment is 20%. We're going to multiply that one rather by 75. 75 times 0.20 is 15. Same with the Filipino, we're going to add their weighted score. So 24.6 plus 38.5 plus 15 is equal to 78.1. Then we're going to base for the transmutation table. The value of 78.1 is 86. So moving on, we have here the mathematics subject. And the written words is 71. We have the value for the written words in math. It's 40%, so we're going to multiply that one by 71. So 71 times 40% is 28.4. And then in the performance test, we have 40% as well. We have here the 67, so we're going to multiply that one by 40%. So it is 26.4. Next is the quality assessment, which we have here 62, and then we're going to multiply that one by 20%. The value is 12.5. So we're going to add it all up for the weighted score. It's 28.4 plus 26.8 plus 12.4 is equal to 58.4 plus 26.8 is equal to 67.6. So we're going to base from the transmutation table. 67.6 is equal to 80. No, it's 79. Sorry.
In order to get the initial grade, we will add all the weighted scores.
Science subject. So, written work, science belongs to, in our written work performance task is recognized as 40%, 40%, and 20%. So, science is the written work 76 times 40%. 76 times 0.40 is equals to 30.4. So in the percentage or performance task, 79 times 40, 79 times 40% is 31.6. In the quarterly assessment is 20%, so 65 times 20% equals to 13. 13. So let's add all the weighted score in the science subject. So 30.4 plus 31.6 plus 13 is equals to 75 in the initial grade. So the initial grade of science subject is 75. So let's transmute it to the transmutation table. So 75 is belongs to 84. 84 quarterly grade. So let's proceed to the Araling Palipunan. So Araling Palipunan, so 83 times, pinalitin works 30% equals to 24.9. So in the performance task, 83 times 50% is equals to 41.5. And the quarterly assessment is 83 times 20% is equals to 16.6. So let's add all the weighted score. So 24.9 plus 41.5 plus 16.6 is equals to 83. So the initial grade is 83. So let's transmute it. So 83 is equals to 89. So let's proceed to the ESP or the edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. So ESP belongs to here. So 84 times 30% is equals to 25.2. In the performance task, 84 times 50% is equals to 42. In the quarterly assessment is 84 times 20% is equals to 16.8. So let's add all the weighted score. So 25.2 plus 42 plus 16.8 is equals to 84. So let's transmute it. So 84 to 85 is 90. So let's proceed to the EPP or Edukasyon Pantahanan Pangkabuhayan. So EPP here. So 80 times 20% in the written works is equals to 16 in the weighted score. So 84 in the performance task is 60. So 84 times 60% is equals to 50. So in the quarterly assessment, so 77 times 20% is equals to 15.4. So let's add all the weighted score. So 16 plus 50.4 plus 15.4 is equals to 81.9. So let's transmute it to get the quarterly grade. 81 to 88. 88. The quarterly grade of APP is 88. Go.
So now let's proceed to the mapping. So the written work is here in the music is 76. So we are going to multiply by 20% here sa written work. So 76 times 0.20% times 0.20 is 15.2. And then so let's proceed to the performance task of music. So performance task belongs to here, which is the 60%. So 77 times 0.60 is equals to 46.2. 46.2. Then quarterly assessment here is 75. Then we're going to multiply by 20%. So 75 times 0.20% is equals to 15. All the weighted score of the written works, performance task, and the quarterly assessment. So 15.2 plus 36.2 plus 15 is 56.4. So let's proceed to now let's proceed to the arts. So 85. So we have here the written work, so we're going to multiply it by 20%. So 85 times 0.20 is 17. So here in performance task is 81, so we're going to multiply it by 60%. So 81 times 0.60% is equals to 48.6. Let's proceed to the quarterly assessment. So we have here 80. We have here 80. So we are going to multiply it by 20%. So 80 times 0.20 is equals to 16. Now we are going to add all the weighted score. So 17 plus 48.6 plus 16 is 81.6. So let's proceed to the 80 times 20%. Wait, 80 times 0.20 is 16. So here in performance task, we are going to multiply it by 60%. So 80 times 0.60 is 48. So here, quarterly assessment, we are going to multiply it by 20%. So 78 times 0.20 is 15.6. We're going to add all the weighted scores. So 16 plus 48 plus 15.6. 15.6. So we have here 79.6. Then the last one is the help. So in In the written work, we have here 85, then we're going to multiply it by 20%. So 85 times 0.20 is equals to 17. Then let's proceed to the performance task, which is 81, and we're going to multiply it by 60. So 81 times 60% is equals to 48.6. Then the last one is the quarterly assessment, which is 75. We are going to multiply it by 20%. So 75 times 0.20 is 15. So we are going to add all of these four. 17 plus 48.6 plus 15. So the total is 80.6. So we are going to add all the initial grade of music, arts, P, and health. So 76.4 plus 81.6 plus 79.6 plus 80.6. So we're going to, so the total of here is 322.6. So we're going to divide it by 4. So 322.6 is equals to 318.2. So we're going to divide it by 4. So 318.2 divided by 4 is equals to 79.55. So we're going to transmute it in order to get the quarterly grade. So 79.55. We are going to transmute it by 87. So the total quarterly grade of MAPI RICO is 87.
So let's answer the following question. So what is RICO's composite grade in MAPIC? How did you find it? So the composite grade of RICO in MAPIC is 79.5 initial grade. So we find it because all the initial grade we added and we divided into 4. So that's why we get the initial grade of 79.55. And we transmitted it by the transmutation table by the K-12, and it is 87%. So number 2. So in which learning area did we perform best during the third quarter? Explain briefly your base. So in here, the RICO performed best in the subject of ESP or Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao because he got the quarterly grade of the initial grade of 84. So because it is transmuted grade, RICO got 90% final grade for the quarterly grade.
So let's proceed to the number 3. So in which learning areas does RICO need to improve on? Why so? So RICO needs to improve on is the subject of mathematics. It's because it's indicated here the quarterly grade is 79, which this is the lowest grade of RICO that's got all the subjects here. So let's proceed to number 4. So what does this level of proficiency and Araling Panlipunan signify? So in Araling Panlipunan, we have here the written work, performance task, and the quarterly assessment. So the level of proficiency that RICO is the performance task. It's because we have here the 41.5, which is we are going to multiply it by 60%. So even though they have the same score between the written work, performance task, and the quarterly assessment. But in performance task, since 60% is the highest, so we have here the 41.5
question here is describe Rico's overall performance in the third quarter and how would you communicate this to his parents? So Rico's demonstrated a strong academic performance with an total average of 86.4. He addressed a good performance during this quarter. And if I were going to communicate to his parents, I'm going to tell them that he must be proud of him and that although he excelled in some part of the areas, but there are areas that needs to improve. Just like example for the mathematics subject. So, but with a continuous support and I know guidance, I know that Rico will go beyond of what he performed with this quarter. I know he will excel for the next quarters.
This is my general reflection for our final output. And as we calculated and analyzed the data, I realized the weight of responsibilities that comes with it. And I'm just wondering how a single grade can shape our academic identities and self-worth. So I guess it's very crucial for the teachers to be honest, responsible and accurate with their grading practices. And I guess, of course, that transparency is the key of this to this grading system, because it's not just about computing grades. It's of course also about creating trust, building trust and connectivity, especially towards the parents and the students. And as the students as well, I'm urging the teachers to work together with us in order to create an equitable educational system that fostering transparency, accountability, and fairness. Because after all, it's not just the grades, it's about the persons behind it. Because as we all know that the grades have the power to shape our destinies and futures. So asking you humbly, ma'am and sir, to be honest and fair with your grading systems or practices. And that would be all. Thank you.
So good day. So this is my general reflection on our final output. So teachers' diligence and accurate grading is crucial. It's because it builds trust by fostering student confidence, encouraging open communication, and enhancing teacher-student relationship. Accurate grading also promotes academic excellence by identifying areas for improvement, motivating students, and reflecting true progress. Furthermore, it supports parental engagement by informing parents of students' progress, facilitating collaborative support, and ensuring share of accountability. Ultimately, accurate grading is essential for student success. And that's all. Thank you.
So this is my self-reflection for our final term output. As a student, accurate grading fosters trust, motivation, and academic growth. Teachers' skillfulness and honesty demonstrate respect for students, efforts promoting open communication and constructive feedback. Transparency ensures fairness, accountability, and improved learning outcomes.